As a parent, how do you stop yelling and have a calmer household? If you're anything like me, this is not something that comes naturally. You get busy, you get stressed. There are a number of other things. The kids aren't listening. It feels like they're pushing your buttons, and all of a sudden you catch yourself yelling again. Hi, my name's Alana Pace. I have a background in developmental and counseling psychology, and I am one of the hosts for the Positive Parenting Bundle. Today, I am going to talk to you about practical strategies to help make you a calmer parent and create a peaceful household. The number one complaint or question I get from parents is, how do I stop yelling and how do I get my kids to listen? In this video today, we will cover the first part of that equation, and in the second part of this series, we will cover how to get kids to listen better. Step one in becoming a calmer parent is to set the goal of becoming a calm parent. Now, that might seem a little bit redundant, but it's very important to take this step, is to sit down with your family and talk about your goal. This is great for a number of reasons. One, you've set up accountability. You've said, I'm going to yell less, and you've let your family know. The other thing that's very beneficial about this is that you are saying that what you've done in the past hasn't worked, and you can apologize for that. This is invaluable to your children because it is a strong example. You're apologizing for what you've done in the past, and you're setting a goal to be calmer. You can also talk about how you want the whole family to be calmer and how everyone can help make this happen. Step number two in becoming a calmer parent is accepting the fact that you are going to falter. And that can be very hard to fully embrace, because I think the internet creates a situation where we believe that everyone else has it right except for us. And so we hold ourselves to this high standard and think that every time we fail, we have failed in an irreparable way. The truth of the matter is that when studying infants and their mothers, neuropsychologist Dr. Alan Shore found that mothers only got parenting right 30%. Now, that was, of course, with infants, but what we can deduce from that study is that there is no 100% regardless of what stage of parenting we're in. We're human, we're going to make mistakes, and the main thing is to apologize for when we falter and get back on track. Now, one of the ways that we can greatly help this, getting back on track and staying on track, is step three, and that is set up visual aids. Dr. Daniel Siegel recommends taking quotes that remind you to be more peaceful. One of my favorites is a mantra of inhale, let, exhale, go. But you can choose anything that works well for you. Post them on Post-it notes and stick them around your house, maybe in the kitchen, on the dashboard of your car, maybe near the Tupperware for when you're making the kids' lunches, anywhere that will help you remember to stay calm. Dr. Laura Markham recommends using a calendar to stay calm and yell less as a parent. So what she recommends you do is check off each day that you've stayed calm. You can even involve the kids, and they can check off days that they have stayed calm, or it could be that you split up the day. In the morning before school, were they calm? Were you calm? In the evening after school and through to bedtime, were you and they calm as well? As time goes on, you'll start to see more and more check marks, and you'll see this visual continuity of your success. And yes, there might be times that you falter, but in time, you will see more and more days checked off, and you will feel a greater sense of accomplishment. Step four feels very cliche, but it's absolutely essential, and that is to prioritize self-care. Now, I think because we hear about self-care so much, it started to fall on deaf ears. But if you aren't investing in your own emotional and mental health, there is a very low chance that you're going to be able to successfully stay calm as a parent. What you need to do is take some time and brainstorm activities that are very inexpensive and require minimal childcare or minimal efforts that you can do on a weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly basis. So it could be going for a walk, it could be taking time and going to a coffee shop and reading a book, meeting a friend for coffee at her house or his house, doing yoga, going for a run, anything that gets you back to a feeling of being like yourself. Step 4 is a way to get your brain out of the fight or flight response. Now, what happens when we are frustrated, stressed, aggravated, is our brain can start to go into a more primitive mode. And that's why we react. We're fighting. We're in the fight or flight response. So what we want to do is catch ourselves in that split second before we lose it and do a deep breathe. Now what we want to do is inhale for a 4 count, hold the breath briefly, and then exhale for an even longer count. What this does, according to Dr. Bailey, is it takes us out of the fight or flight, it reduces our cortisol or our stress levels, and it gets our brain back into the game. So what it does is we get out of that primitive state and we get back into a state where we're actually thinking clearly. Step 5 comes after you have taken that deep breath. And what it does is it releases those pent-up frustrations. What you will do in step 5 is you will say, I'm feeling frustrated because. I feel like I'm going to yell because. And you can even follow that with how you're going to continue to calm down. So I feel frustrated because I've asked you to clean up your toys 5 times. I'm going to go walk away, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to come back. Remember, you can take a time out. You can walk away briefly, regain your thoughts, regain your composure, and come back to talk to your children. Step 6 is apologize for when you go wrong. We've already touched on this, but when we apologize, we model the behavior to our kids that it's okay to falter, but we make amends afterwards, and we get back on track. Stay tuned for the second video in the series on kids listening, and be sure to check out the Positive Parenting Bundle that launches February 18th to the 22nd, 2019.